Yes, yes, the Casanovians. Dude, my hair is officially fucked. I look like a moderately dangerous plant pot. Like, look, if should I wear it like this? I look like one of those troll dolls. You know those troll dolls that you could get when you were a kid, which have like the crazy fucking hair? I like a mixture between troll doll and sideshow Bob. Not sure how we should wear it. I can either go for the plant pot or the slightly bemused surfer. Anyway, in this one, what we're going to do is I'm going to explain to you how to cold approach when you're not feeling it. Oh, I'm not feeling it today, so I may as well just wank myself off into a sock. So, what do? Yeah, you've gone out, maybe you've told yourself, I'm going to approach today. Today's the day. Yeah, you might have put it in your Google Calendar. Today, I'm going to approach, I'm going to finally do it. But then maybe you get into your city centre, maybe the excuses roll in, maybe you think you need a coffee, and then another coffee, now you need a shit, and now you can't stop shitting, and you realise, fuck, I've drunk too much coffee. And you get back outside, you've got shit dripping down your thigh, and you're thinking to yourself, I should probably approach somebody. But I'm not feeling it, you know? I'm not feeling it. Today's not my day. I'm not in the mood right now. I'm not in the right state. I didn't get a lot of sleep last night. Maybe I need more theory. So you go home, and usually what happens with guys is they just end up replaying this regret loop in their mind, and then decades go by. They realize a geriatric old fucker who can no longer get a boner. He has to get on Viagra. That's not really a nice life to be in. So what I'm gonna what I want to do in this stream is just walk you through how to actually approach when you're not feeling it. And I know this works because this is literally what I did today, right? So for those of you who don't know, I'm back in Europe. I completed the second day of a 3-day coaching experience with one of our guys inside the entourage. So yesterday, we did 30 approaches in 3 hours. He got 11 contact details. This is a 40-year-old guy who's been terrified of approaching women his entire life. He kept telling himself he's going to do it. He'd read the game. He's watched lots of videos. After decades, he realized that videos are not going to do anything for your dating life. It's kind of like sniffing a condom wrapper and expecting to lose your virginity. At some point, you realize that if I want to become a black belt in jiu-jitsu, I need to actually go to the dojo, yeah, or wherever the fuck people in jiu-jitsu train. Like, you're not going to become a black belt in jiu-jitsu by rolling around with a pillow on your kitchen floor, right? And he'd watched the videos, he knew the theory. Yesterday was his first proper day of cold approaching. And when I'm saying proper day, I'm talking about 30 approaches in 3 hours, right? And today, day number 2, he did 27 approaches and got 12 contact details. But the beautiful thing was today, because if you do a cold approach coaching session with me, the sessions are incredibly intense because we're turning decades into days. There's so much rewiring that happens. There's so much liberation through action that after the first day of coaching, what can sometimes happen is on the second day, guys can be in this emotionally hungover state where they're almost comparing themselves to who they were yesterday. They had a life-changing experience, but now it feels like new day. It can feel like their energy is very low because it's intense, right? So today, I walked my guy through how to cold approach when you're not really feeling it. And this is what's working, yeah? In 2026, this is not fucking theory. This is working right here, right now, 2026. We did it yesterday. We did it today. Cold approaching in real life, right? And it's becoming an ever increasingly rare skill, the ability to start conversations with strangers. So how do you actually cold approach when you're not feeling it? So what we did today is I walked my client through a very simple exercise. Because for me, when you first get out there into the field and you might not be feeling it, it's very easy to mentally get yourself into a slump and almost try and think your way into having a really good session. What we did today is for the first 30 minutes, I just got him to push himself into as many approaches as possible. and prioritize imperfect action. This is the most important thing. If you're not feeling it when you go out there, congratulations, you're fucking normal, right? Your mind doesn't want you to do it. Your mind would rather you sit at home, watch my infield videos, and convincing yourself you're making progress. So when I first go out there, when my clients first go out there, nobody is really feeling it, and that's okay, right? You don't need to feel social to start having conversations because belief follows action. Write that down, it's a banger. You don't need to feel social to have a conversation in the same way that you don't need to feel in the mood to get your ass to the gym, yeah? You might not be feeling it when you first get to the gym. You might not be feeling it when you first start martial arts. You might not be feeling it when you first sit down to do some difficult work. But simply by putting yourself into the arena and forcing immediate action early, you'll quickly get yourself out of that slump. Because that's what happened today. We met up and my guy was like, oh, I'm feeling a bit low energy today. I don't feel as though I'm in the mood right now to have a conversation. I was like, fucking awesome. That is exactly what you're gonna do, because the thing that you resist the most is usually the thing that you need to do. Yeah, resistance is kind of like your compass. Whatever you are resisting, you want to run towards resistance like your life depends on it. So really practical. I just pushed him into 6 approaches in the first 30 minutes. He actually ended up getting phone numbers within the first 3 approaches. But these are not like, it's not even about the phone numbers at the start. It's just getting yourself into these approaches as soon as possible, right? Because the longer you stay out of conversations, the more intense the resistance is going to get. And this is the mistake that pretty much every guy makes when they're trying to learn cold approach on their own. Because the problem is, and I was speaking with my guy about this, the problem is, if you're watching infield videos online of guys who are approaching, on the surface, it looks simple, right? You just see a guy walking over to a girl and you think, oh, I can do that. It's not that difficult. But what you don't see is the decade of shit that guy has had to eat, all of the internal alterations he's had to undergo, all the self-limiting beliefs, the negative self-talk, the momentum he's needed to stack. So when you see infield videos and you think, oh, there's nothing great about this conversation, I could do that, there's nothing spectacular here, what you're not seeing is you're just seeing like the tip of the iceberg. You're not seeing what truly goes into it. I think this is why a lot of guys feel completely stuck when it comes to cold approach, because they think it's easier than it actually is, but they don't understand it takes thousands and thousands and thousands of reps in order to get to a level where you feel completely at ease and feel completely yourself in these conversations. And this is why I say to you, you have to do those first 100 cold approaches, but you need to do them fast, in at least 3 days, 7 days, 1 month at the most. Like, you can't be waiting a long time to get these first 100 approaches done. A lot of guys have got this fallacy that, oh, I'll just approach 1 girl a week, or I'll do 1 approach a day. You're not giving yourself enough time to get into that social flow state. So when you get out into the field and you're not feeling it, I'm not feeling it, my clients are not feeling it, but you don't need to feel it in order to start, okay? And I would say when you are first out there and you've got a lot of resistance, all that you need to focus on is getting in front of the girl and just giving compliments, right? Just giving compliments as fast as possible, because when I started the coaching today, I was feeling a bit lethargic. I was feeling a little bit emotionally hungover, right? These are heavy, intense days. But what I know to be true about myself is when I'm in the fields and I'm coaching and I'm giving my feedback, we're walking through the city together, I'm talking loud, the version of me who's talking to you right now, I feel socially intoxicated, right? I feel complete, I feel free, but the way you start isn't the way that you finish. And we had one of our guys inside of the entourage, by the way, you've now got 48 hours left to reserve your place inside the entourage. If you know what the entourage is my private coaching network for all of my clients. So all the guys who've been personally trained by me, they're all assembled inside the entourage. So if you're somebody who wants to get around guys who are crushing it, you want to be associated with the most capable wingmen on the planet, and you want to be held to an elite standard, then the first link below this video, you can reserve your place inside the Entourage right now. It's only open for 48 more hours, and then access closes. Blah, 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 blah. Troll doll. Anyway, like this video if you think I need a fucking haircut. I should do one of those videos live where I just like shave all my hair and paint my face as like a fucking tiger. Okay, so inside of our private WhatsApp group, one of our guys was hitting the streets today, and he's had a bit of a hiatus recently because he's been working, like he's just been working non-stop, and his job means that he's constantly on the move, he's constantly traveling. So he got back into the saddle today, and he posted this in our private WhatsApp group that I think perfectly aligned with what we're talking about. So like if you're somebody who struggles to motivate themselves at the start to do the approaches, listen to this because it will really help you. So he writes, lads, I was in a slump just a bit ago. I'm right about to text a group that I would go in for one in the next 15 minutes no matter what. When at that very moment, a beautiful woman caught my eye, went straight in, mediocre combo, but it did relight the fire. I did another approach within 5 minutes with a certified baddie that went great with number close. Because I was reignited and back in the saddle, now it's game on. Lesson, no amount of self-talk conquers a slump, only action. Yeah, so again, this is coming fresh from the field today. So one of our guys was out there in the fields. He posted into the group for accountability. He wasn't really feeling it. He was in a bit of a slump, experiencing this social lethargy where after a while, guys can go from having approach anxiety to having approach apathy, right? Where it's almost like you understand the game by this point. Yeah, you understand that if you are going to hit this to an elite level, it is going to demand a lot from you emotionally. So you can go from having approach anxiety to like, oh my God, this really scares me, to having approach apathy, which is, fuck, do I really want to do it today? Do I really want to put myself through it? But the beautiful thing is you never feel worse once you've had a proper cold approach session. Like, dude, I'll put it out right here. Some of the best days of my life have been on the streets with my guides, whether I'm in Barcelona, whether I'm in London, whether I'm in Lisbon. And I'm thinking back to sometimes last summer when I was working with one of our guys in the Entourage, Travis. And I remember last summer, we were just hitting it, like on Oxford Street, Regent Street. I was just pinging between approaches. We were practicing the stop a lot, just like pushing each other. Then we had other Entourage guys who were in London, and we all got together and we were all just like pushing each other into approach. It wasn't even about the women at this point. It was just about fun. Like, how can we make this so fun? It's impossible to be inconsistent. I remember last summer, that really reignited my love for this social sport. I really do see it now as an art form. Yeah, like daytime cold approach, it is art. It's like when you're going out there, there's so many different things. And it's kind of like, it reminds me of Picasso. Like, Picasso was an incredible artist. I remember he said one time, it took me 4 years to paint like Raphael, a lifetime to paint like a child. I think that Picasso transitioned into having these incredible masterpieces to creating these really abstract, simplistic things that almost look like they've been created by children. But he had such artistic complexity that anybody looking at that would be like, oh, anybody can do that. But nobody else did. He did it, right? He made the complex look simple. And I think it's the same with cold approach as well. Like, when you are going out there, it's not just about, oh, approaching women today. It's a complete reincarnation. That's what I've noticed today. Like, I've only been working my guy for 2 days, but in between approaches, we've been explaining how it's made him feel overall, like the confidence that this is unlocked. Because this is one of the realizations I've had is this thing that we call confidence, it's not something that we build, it's something that we uncover. And I think there's no substitute for getting serious reps on the board. Volume, volume, volume. Like, when was the last time you did 30 approaches in 3 hours? Because most guys are like, oh, cold approach doesn't work. They'll go out, they'll do one, maybe 3 approaches at most. They won't get the results that they want, and then they'll get upset, then they'll cry, then they'll be like, oh, this is not working, the girls don't like me, I'm unattractive, my conversations are shit. And it's like, dude, you've only done 3 approaches. Do 30 in a day. Do 30 in 3 hours. Then we'll talk. A lot of guys, they just don't know what they don't know. And they think that they're trying, they think they're putting in reps, they think they're taking serious action. And it's like, they did 7 approaches this week. And it's like, bro, that's like the warm up, right? So there's such a discrepancy here, which guys just don't understand because they're watching infield videos, they see the guy and they think, oh, I could do that, it's so easy. But if you're going out there and you're not feeling it, then what I would say is you have to fuck your feelings at the start, right? You do, for those first 30 minutes, this is why I explained to my guy, it's like you have to, like however you're feeling, forget about your emotions momentarily, because if we just succumb to our emotions, nothing would get done, right? And I think once you've got a clear goal in mind, like, right, I'm gonna do 30 approaches in 3 hours, the main thing that I've taught to my guy, and you only learn this through experience, you don't learn it through theory, even all the stuff that I've said to you on this live stream right now, you might think you understand it intellectually, you might be thinking, oh yeah, that makes sense. But until you've lived it, it's just wanking in the wind, right? It's sniffing a condom wrapper, expecting to lose your virginity. Until you've been seriously pushed, you don't understand what I'm saying to you. You just don't, right? It's almost like a pro bodybuilder who's trying to explain to the average dude how difficult it is to compete in bodybuilding, the sacrifices you have to make, the crazy nutrition, all the shit you have to go through. I remember hearing once there was a guy who trained with Cristiano Ronaldo, and he was like, I thought I trained hard until I trained with Ronaldo. It's like his main workout was Ronaldo's warm-up workout, right? And my guy had an approach today, maybe about 19 or 20 approaches in. And that's important as well, because when you understand how important momentum is with this game, then those first 3, 4, 5 approaches that you do, you understand they're just batting practice. They're just to get you into the game. They don't even count. You don't attach your sense of self-worth or identity to those first handful of approaches, because it's not usually you who's in those conversations. It's your conditioning, right? But you think it's you, but it isn't. And we're in the supermarket, went to grab some fucking apples. And because when I'm doing my in-person coaching, we use wireless microphones so I can listen into everything that my guys are saying. So I was stood outside, like the little part of the supermarket, and I could hear my guy, and he just casually opened a conversation with this Polish lady inside the supermarket. I think he opened with like something about fucking peanuts. Quite the romantic. And they just had a conversation going back and forth. And what I love most about the conversation was everything felt very natural. I think this is what guys want in their conversations. You don't want to sound like a robot, you don't want to sound sleazy, you don't want to sound like some low-value pickup artist. But at the start, you just are, right? You need to have so many car crash conversations until you can drive the car proficiently. Like a lot of guys, they want to skip the ugly phase. It's like, oh, I just want to be able to approach a woman when I leave my house and I'm on my way to Zara. Or I just want to approach women when I get choosing signals. And it's like, motherfucker, you ain't going to approach anybody, right? You ain't going to approach anybody who's giving you choosing signals. You're not going to warm approach until you can cold approach, right? And I think because today we live in this society addicted to instant gratification, right? Oh, I'm horny, porn. Oh, I'm hungry, Uber Eats. Oh, I'm bored, Netflix. Like, everything is available at the touch of a button or the swipe of a screen. But I think what daytime cold approach really teaches you, very similar to martial arts, is delaying gratification, right? Is going out, doing 30 approaches in 3 hours. You might not get the results that you want, but it's the compounding interest of everything that you're doing. And when you do eventually meet that wife-worthy woman 3 months down the line, it wasn't that approach that got you her. It was all of the approaches that you've done in the lead up to that. So if you're going out there and you're not really feeling it, Amazing, great. That's pretty much how everybody feels, right? You might feel a little bit socially lethargic. You might have a few conversations at the start and you're like, oh shit, that was terrible. That was way far from my best. What I do now, by the way, is whenever I do approaches, even if my approaches go shit, I celebrate action in myself, right? So I just say to myself, Christian, mate, that approach was fucking awesome. Christian, bro, you smashed that approach. Even if I got blown out by a fucking grandma who was like, get away from me. Like, I'll just celebrate it. You know, if I go over to a girl who's with a friend and I'm like, oh, you two look incredible, and they both turn out to be men. I actually did that once in Milan. I approached a girl who was with a friend and I was like, I just want to say that your friend looks beautiful. And as I was saying it, I noticed the Adam's apple in the throat. And the friend was looking at me thinking, motherfucker, are you being serious? Like, that's a man. And yes, I think the thing that we were speaking about today as well with cold approach is with cold approach, you need to have a fucking sense of humor with this game. I think that out of everybody who makes content in the cold approach space, I am by far the funniest. Like, I think it's that British sense of humor. Do you know what I mean? Like, we got banter, but like when I was learning cold approach, I was watching other guys who were making this content. I'm like, you're all as like dead as fucking dodos. Like, there's no humor, there's no personality, and I think that you need to have a sense of humor with cold approach because if you're taking everything seriously in life, I think having this almost like this childlike approach to everything that you do, this is something that I do, and I've noticed it's why put my fucking teeth back in. I've noticed it's why guys gravitate towards working with me, especially older guys who maybe are more analytical or more logical. They're up in their heads a lot. It's like, I think one of the pull factors is I almost allow guys to re-enter that childlike state. Yes, when I'm coaching, I'm intense, I'm no bullshit, I will tell you what you need to know rather than what you want to hear, but we have a fucking laugh. You know what I mean? Anybody that's worked with me in the field, you'll know it's fucking fun, right? It's like the best days of your fucking life. It's like, yes, you will learn, you will get pushed, you will go through this process of unlearning all the bullshit, but dude, we're going to have a rip-roaring good time playing the game. I think this is what's missing from a lot of guys is when you are out in the field, especially when you're on your own, having sense of humor with it. Like when I'm just going around everyday life, maybe I'm in the supermarket or I'm on a call to a friend or, I don't know, I'm just sat in my fucking underwear watching Jerry Springer. I'll just laugh, mate. I'll just just chat random shit to myself. Like when I'm doing these live streams, one of the reasons why I like these live streams so much is because they're unedited, it's raw authentic, I can just play around with my fucking ridiculous haircut that makes me look like an absolute plant pot. And I was doing this with my girlfriend the other night. I was like trying to pretend to be a cat. Actually, I was doing this social freedom. I was doing this social freedom game with my girlfriend the other week, and basically what we did, we went to our favorite sushi restaurant, and after we finished eating sushi, we were like in this shopping mall, and I was just pretending to be a cat. So every like group of people that walked past us, I just kept going meow. And she was like, Christian, what are you doing? Stop doing it. It's embarrassing. And I kept doing it. And at the end of it, she started fucking doing it as well. And we were just like walking past some like Korean people. I was just like, meow. Dude, it was fucking funny. And I think that something that so many guys lack with this is you're just taking yourself too seriously, mate. Do you know what I mean? You need someone to give you a kick up the arse, but you also need someone to teach you or help you to relearn how to have fucking fun. Yeah, there's so many boring people in this space who are like, okay, here's what to do, here's how to have good conversation. It's like, mate, you're fucking boring, shut up. So, yeah, I think when you do first go out there and you are in a bit of a slump, recognize the first 30 minutes, just get as many imperfect reps on the board as possible, like bang, bang, bang. And then when you are out there, recognize that the way you start isn't the way that you finish. Understand that if you were to go out there and do 30 approaches in 3 hours, you would feel completely different. Imagine how carefree, how non-needy, how detached from outcome. You would feel like yourself. The way you start is not the way that you finish. I think if there's one line I'm remembered for in 100 years' time, that'll be the one. The way you start is not the way that you finish. And I think that if you can learn to start with the end in mind, that will get you through the slump. I understand now because I've done so many of these coaching sessions. I've worked with over 200 guys. I've taken myself from a porn addicted, erectile dysfunctioning loser who was a complete down and out deadbeat, and I've been able to unlock a dating life that I used to think was impossible for a guy like me. But because I've done so many of these cold approach sessions in over 30 different countries all across the world, I understand now that I can almost like visit the future and be like, right, Christian, you're not feeling it today. We've been here before. We know. One sec. Whoa, that was a strong one. We know that all we need to do is stay out, get those points on the board, not allow our emotions to dictate our behaviors. And simply by staying out, eventually what will happen is you will have one approach which just changes everything for you, which is why I say to my guys, you're only one approach away from everything changing. And simply by staying out, not being a little bitch, not getting another coffee, not going for your third spout of diarrhea, you dirty fucker, just by staying out and getting yourself into that social flow state, you'll look back at the session. You won't even remember the first 3 approaches that you did. You won't even remember the first girls that you got numbers from. And I just wish more guys understood what this game is about. It's a game of momentum. It's a game of activating social flow state. Just doing one approach here, one approach there, it ain't gonna do anything for you. Like, you need to dedicate time, because once you've got this skill, this is what I say to the guys who work with me. Once you've got this skill properly, like done right, with supervision, with feedback, with accountability, you've got it for life, right? Yeah, you might go rusty. You might not do approaches for 90 days, but like our guy in the entourage has displayed here, your training takes over, right? You might have been out of the game for a year or so, but once you've learnt the skill properly, all it takes is a few approaches to find your flow again, and it feels like you've never been gone because you've ingrained it into muscle memory. But the biggest problem guys make is they just take too long to get these first 100 approaches done. They are castrated by their own ego. They want to look cool. They don't want to lose value in the eyes of women. They don't want their conversations to be clunky. They don't want to have car crash conversations. They want everything to be perfect. They want everything to be smooth. That's not real life, yeah? That's why I show my rejection reels. That's why I show all of my content from when I first started approaching, because this is real life, right? You're gonna get rejected. You're gonna get blown out. You're gonna question your own sense of self-worth. You're gonna have many dark nights of the soul where you stare at the ceiling and think to yourself, fuck me, am I just fundamentally unlovable? Yeah, you'll go out, you'll get rejected, you'll think, fuck, am I ugly? Am I unattractive? What's going on? It's normal, yeah? And until you've actually trained with people who know what the fuck they're doing and who actually live and breathe this skill, you don't know what you don't know, right? So yeah, if you found this useful, drop it a like. If you would like to get around me and the rest of my beautiful furry friends that I call my clients, then first link below this video, you can reserve your place inside the entourage. Like I say, it's only open for the next 48 hours. I don't know when I'm going to be opening access again. So if you resonate with anything that I've said, if my content has provided you a slither of value for however long you've been watching me for, then don't stay as a stranger. Don't stay lurking in the shadows like a creepy little fucker. Reach out, reserve your place inside the entourage, get around me, and get around 30 of my other clients. We can all give you support, we can hold you accountable, and we can have a right old laugh as well. That's what this is about, isn't it? Having a bit of a laugh now and again. If you enjoyed this, drop it a like, and I will speak with you boys again soon. You can leave the live stream now. It's fine. I'm just gonna be playing with my hair. I should do like one of those like hair tutorials.
Like, oh my God, today what we're gonna be doing is like we're gonna be doing the man bun. If you want to do the man bun,
there we go. Now I look like a Thundercat. Yo, there's gonna be like one person who joins the live stream at this moment. He's gonna be thinking, motherfucker, what have I stumbled across here? This guy's giving me dating advice. Yeah, mate. Yes, I fucking am. But we'll leave it there. I think I need to shave as well. I literally look like Mr. Potato.